Nested class in Java. In Java, inner class or nested class is a class which is declared inside the class of interface. We use inner classes to logically group classes and interfaces is one place so that it can be more readable and maintainable. Additionally, it can access all the members of outer class, including private data member and method. The Java programming language allows us to define a class within another class. Such a class is called a nested class. This is the example: class outer class, bracket, class nested class within the class outer class. So it is the example of a nested class. Type of nested class. In Java, there are mainly two types of nested class. One is static nested class, another is non-static nested class. Nested class that are declared static are simply called static nested classes. Non-static nested classes are called inner classes. Why we use nested class? Logical grouping of classes. If a class is useful to only one other classes, then it is logical to embed it in that class and keep the two together. Increase encapsulation. Consider two top-level classes A and B, where B need access to member of A that would otherwise be declared by hiding class B within class A. A's member can be declared private and B can access them. In addition, B itself can be hidden from the outside world. More readable and maintainable code. Nesting small classes within top-level classes places the code closer to where it is used. Static nested classes. A static nested class is associated with its outer class, similar to class method and variable. A static nested class cannot refer directly to instance variable or method defined in enclosed class. It can use them only through an object reference. Static nested classes are accessed using the enclosing class name outer class dot static nested class. For example, to create an object of the static nested class, we use this syntax: outer class dot static nested class nested object equal to new outer class dot static nested class, where nested object is a reference variable. Inner classes. An inner class is associated with an instance of its enclosing class and has directly access to that object method and state. Because an inner class is associated with an instance, it cannot define any static member itself. Objects that are instances of an inner class exist within an instance of the outer class. Consider the following classes: class outer class, within parentheses, class inner class. So this is the example of the inner. An instance of inner class can exist only within an instance of outer class and has direct access to the method and field of its enclosing instance. To instantiate an inner class, we must first instantiate the outer class, then create the inner object within the outer object. So, syntax of this inner class is outer class dot inner class inner object equal to outer object dot new inner class. Additionally, There are two special kinds of inner classes, local classes and anonymous classes, also called anonymous inner. This is the example of a inner class. Class based outer. Within class based outer, there is a private data member, variable name is data, integer type, value assigned is 30. Within test outer, we declare a inner class inner. Within this inner class, there is a method in message. Within this message method, we display the value of data using the system.out.println function. Then, in the main function, we create the object of outer class test outer.obj equal to new test outer. Within this test outer object, we create the inner class object I test outer dot inner in equal to obj dot new inner. Then using this inner class object, we call the method of instance in.instance. The output of this program is 30. Local classes. Local classes are classes that are defined in a block which is a group of zero or more statements between balanced braces. For example, we can define a local class in a method body, a for loop, or an if clause. A local class has access to the member of its enclosing class. A local class has access to local variable. However, a local class can only access local variables that are declared finally. There is an example of a local inner class. There is a class name public class local inner. There is a private integer type data member data. Value assigned is 30 to instance variable. Within this class local inner, there is a function called display. Using this display function, we declare a class local. Within this local class, there is a method called void MSC, and we display the output of data using system.out.println. Then we invoke the method of local inner class to instantiate the class method inside this. So using this syntax local a equal to new local, we create an object of this local class, and using this local class object, we call the MSC method l.msc. In the main function, we create the object of local inner class obj local inner obj equal to in local inner, and using this object obj, we call the display method. So output of this program is 30. A class that is created inside a method is called local inner class in Java. If we want to invoke the method of local inner class, we must instantiate class inside this method. So this is the class instantiate inside this MSC method. So it is the example of a local inner class. Anonymous classes. Anonymous classes enable us to declare and instantiate a class at the same time. They are like local classes, except that they do not have a name. The anonymous class expression consists of the following: the new operator, the name of the interface to implement or a class to extend, parentheses that contain the argument to a constructor, just like a normal class, instant creation expression, a body, which is a class declaration body. More specifically, in the word body, method declaration are allowed, but statement are not allowed. Anonymous class have the same access to local variables of the enclosing scope of the local classes. An anonymous class has access the member of the enclosing classes. An anonymous class cannot access local variables in its enclosing scope that are not declared as final. Anonymous class also have the same restriction as local classes with respect to their member. We cannot declare static initializer or member interface in an anonymous class. Note that we can declare the following in anonymous classes: field, extra method, local classes. We cannot declare constructor in an